Retford is always going to be a bit strange because we were locked down right outside of this bench. And we spent a heck of a lot of time between that bench and that lock and walking around on these steps over to Kings Park. And it's a nice area, but it's so much louder than it was back then. And there's so many more people. And I like it, but touring Retford nowadays still has me feeling a little bit strange. But I have found some places that I like, so I'll take you on a quick little look at them. Places to visit in Retford when you're locked down or when you're not locked down. We found this place when we were in lockdown, World Snacks. At the time, they opened very occasionally, and you could get little bags of sweets and stuff. Now they're open much more often, though still just occasionally. And yeah, all sorts of snacks and candies and things from around the world, including Coffee Crisp if you're a Canadian. But I can't really eat those right now. But, you know, they're one of my favorites from when I was in Canada. So yeah, World Snacks is fun. Basically my favorite place in Retford at the moment. Mama Giussi's, where they have espresso and Aragostini. Also, if you get a chance, come in for the fresh sfogliatelle, which is about my favorite thing that I've found. But you gotta come in at like 8:30 in the morning on the days that they make them. Because then they're fresh, they're really good. But yeah, coffee's new to me, but I'm learning, and their espresso's nice. Definitely like their Italian hot chocolate as well, but I can't have more than one of them in a day. So. And the arancini, or sorry, arancini. They also have arancini, but these guys, crunchy and delicious. Though they call them lobster tails, and I hate that name because I'm a vegetarian. So one of the stranger parts of my lockdown memories of Retford was walking through the market square whenever I had to go to Morrison's, or the one time that Joe and I had run out of gas for one of our tanks, and I had to take it to the Shell station, or the Morrison stations, I can't remember which station, but anyway, I had to take it to one of them to get a new refilled tank. And that meant carrying it like on my shoulder through this square here. And the part that always cracked me up was from the moment we arrived in Retford until after lockdown finished and we'd moved on, there was an alarm that was ringing and ringing and ringing and just squealing away in the old bank branch that used to be here. Apparently that bank shut down somewhere along the line, probably because the alarm was going off. In fact, I think it was shut down and that was why the alarm was going off. But basically they decided to abandon the branch or something, and somebody hadn't flipped some switch, and then it went off, and then nobody could be called and nobody could come out and do anything. So you'd walk through here for like 3 months, that thing was just constantly going off. And yeah, but you'd have to walk through. I'd have to walk through on the way to Morrison's, on the way to get any food there, and you'd have to walk through this little section to see the Sebastopol cannon. To me, that was one of the weirdest artifacts of being in this place, was finding myself being able to walk through and there being no cultural things that I could do, nothing I could visit, everything was shut down. But I got to read about my friend, the Sebastopol cannon. One thing I've grown to appreciate since we've come back to Retford, which I wish I'd found out more about during the time that we were here before with lockdown, is all of these lovely walks along the river. There's this Kings Park, great big park, and it's really nice, and that's where George and I would always go to play and everything, but we weren't really taking longer walks, we were just going to the park and chucking the ball around. But since I'm now walking quite a bit, and I wake up in the morning before Joe gets up and before George even gets up, I've been going out in the morning and taking a walk along a canal. And that gets a little boring after a few days because we traveled up and down that canal a whole bunch. So it's kind of like, hey, I've been here. Deja vu, deja vu, deja vu. So the last little while, what I've taken is, instead, there's a little river where George lost his ball during lockdown that runs, well, the canal's kind of east-south, or east-west, so this is north-south, and it runs under an aqueduct that we're parked near on the boat, and I'll walk down just past the Aldi, and, no, the Asda. I always get those ones messed up. Anyway, I'll walk down just past the Asda, and there's two pathways, one on either side of the river that takes you up north of town, pretty much even past the Morrisons, on both sides, and it's just a nice shaded spot with some water beside you, and there's some parks on either side, and you can get into green spaces, and it's usually not very busy at all, so it's quite quiet. Lovely place to walk. You get a couple of miles of walking in without any kind of having to cross traffic or anything, because there's little bridges before you go through underpasses, and all of the road traffic is just passing above you. It's just nice. And if you're intrepid and you want to go swimming, you can probably still find George's Bowl somewhere downstream. It's a little bit less deep than I'd need to put in a canoe, and it flows pretty quickly for what it is. But yeah, the walks are really good. It's one of the nice things that my mornings have been taking is that little diversion off the deja vu into a place I don't know, and just being able to kind of get out and wander and be in countryside, but not like it's really right in the middle of a busy city, well, town. And it's quite easy to just, turn around at any point and be back and do shopping. If I need to get to Morrison's, this is the comfortable way to do it. I don't have to walk through downtown or anything, and I can get back to the boat the same way. And finally, George's favorite part of the entirety of Retford Kings Park, where we got to spend a great deal of lockdown getting George intimately familiar with every conceivable tree. I'm pretty sure he claimed every tree, every bush, every blackberry bush, every garbage can, every part of the bridge, if it's here and it's stationary, George claimed it. If it was moving, George may have claimed it. There was at least one French bulldog George claimed the rear quarter of. Don't think I ever told you about that. He claimed his ball a couple of times by accident. Then he lost that ball, so that's okay. Probably tasted a little less savory after that. But anyway, yeah, we really got familiar with this park over the course of that goofiness that the world went through. But still part of a pleasant walk, and definitely worth visiting if you're ever in Retford and you're not sitting down for Soliatelli at Mama Giussi's, which is what I'd be doing right now if they had any and they were still open. In the mornings, gotta go in the mornings. Anyway, Joe, that's the end of my ability to record about Retford, if for no other reason than the damn microphone is out of power again. Bye for now. Oh, also, found a squirrel.